This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner, and beside me is my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo here in the state of Arizona, getting set for a wonderful day of golf. The Grand Canyon is the site for the action today. And Frank, how about this golf course?
Amazing, Rich. From a design point of view, absolute genius. But if you're like me and suffer a little bit from vertigo, don't look down, because the cliffs all the way down to the Colorado River, well, it's an enormous drop-off. So ball that doesn't find the fairway, you'll be re-tan.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
That doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Getting set now over the putt. Even par early on. This is the second hole. It is a par 3, some 285 yards. And Frank, you don't want to get lost there to the right.
Well, that's for sure. It looks like an old ruins of an old fort there. 285 yards, though, but we are at altitude, so we can take a little bit off for that. Plus, the green is some 36 feet below the level of the tee, so you can nearly take another club off of that. The two front bunkers, they really save you more than anything. And that green, as you can see, is a perfect circle.
Pretty good shot right there. Masterson for his par.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt. Even par currently.
So with that, 1 over par. Right, the other thing is the intimidation factor here. I mean, everywhere you look, there is huge trouble.
You consider the first 3 holes. Big tee shot across the canyon, long par 3, and you get nearly a 700-yard par 5. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. And setting up here in the rough. Now the third shot at the par 5. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part, this is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Oh boy, a drop shot here at the third. Settles in over the putt. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. Here at the fourth, 345-yard par 4 with that extreme dogleg.
As the crow flies, Rich, it's probably only 260, 270 yards to the middle of the green. This is a really sharp 90-degree dogleg. So if you play it down the left side, that's virtually the distance you need to get to the green. 250, middle of fairway down that left side, and then as you can see, it shapes sharply back to the green. Well, you could be a little ambitious and try and flash it over that rock boulder, but really the luck of the bounce across that canyon area, you don't know what's going to happen. Logic would say hit it down the left, but this game not always logical.
That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. A birdie putt for Pops Masterson. Just misses. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Just a couple of feet. Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. To the par 3 fifth hole, and wow, look at this drop, Frank. Not only do you need the right stick, but you probably need a parachute just to get from the tee to the green here.
You're right, Rich. It's almost like jumping off a high diving board. It is 240 feet from the tee and then downwards to that green, which is some 228 yards away. That is some free fall.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Good effort and good par putt. Here at the par 5 sixth, 625 yards.
You have to take a bite out of the rocky road here, up and over the railway line, and somehow underneath the arches. From there, you're heading, well, to an island green, you might say. There's no water. It's just surrounded by rock and canyon.
Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
The second shot. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way,
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in in terms of club selection and setup over the ball.
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation, and also it's tougher to get onto that front foot. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. So just a formality here. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Now at the par 4 7th hole, this an unusual fairway to say the least, Frank.
It's special. The reason why it's special, because it's shaped like an S. If you play it as a straightaway hole, then you're going to have to stay before that rock crop and then be far enough back that you can at least get over it in a direct line to the green. Otherwise, you're going to need a bit of a cut off the tee, and that would be fairly brave. Easy way, because the hole's not too long, it'd be to lay it up. More difficult, more enjoyable way is to cut it to the right and try and find a gap.
Frank, it really is an ingenious design here. Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Chance to get it close here. Down, little Sheba, down! Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Solid play, heart of the green. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. No fireworks, but not bad. That's par. Stays at 3 over. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th hole here at the Canyon. Length and accuracy are paramount.
They certainly are, Rich. Obviously, some of the longer hitters might be able to reach this hole in 2, even though it's over 700 yards. For the mere mortals, though, a little unusual feature here in the second shot area. If we look ahead, 2 bunkers on the right side that are adjacent to that rock wall on the right. And that, well, you actually need a step ladder, really, to get into those bunkers. They look like 2 little basins filled by sand. We hopefully don't see anyone playing out of that.
2 ways to take a bath here. You could take one left in the Colorado River, not advisable, or you could take a sand bath over there on the right. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Well, look, Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Has to regroup, playing his 5th shot after hitting it in the water.
Yeah, it's not all lost. Once again, check the yardage, check the wind, start again.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
This is a double bogey attempt for Pops. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. Nudge this one home, finish it up. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. Finishing up the front side here with a mammoth par 4.
Anything other than straight, too, it really does suit up for a drive that bends left to right, so it's going to move to the better side of the fairway. There is that rock crop, really, that saves you from going down in the canyon, but from there on in, that second shot, doesn't matter what level of player you are, to hit to a green that just sits out or juts out off the edge, that is some scary second.
Every once in a while, you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence. Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Well, this is always one of the toughest moments in any round. You've made a mistake, you hit it OB, you're disappointed, but you have to regroup, you have to focus, and try to get this next one in play. Now playing the 5th because it was out of bounds on that previous shot.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Frank, the nice thing about golf is we have that little break in between nines. And if it's not going well, and that's the case right here, player has a chance to turn it around.
Yeah, this is where you have to dig into your memory bank. Obviously, what you've done wasn't working, so you know what not to do.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Frank, this the 3rd shot from the fairway bunker.
Yeah, good lie. And once again, just making sure you have enough loft to carry the lip in front of you and really then focus about the target in front.
Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fair. Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. Seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
Settles in over the putt. Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Just a little tap in here. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Here at the par 4 11th, that green tucked back behind the canyon wall, Frank.
Yeah, it's not overly long. Once again, though, we're going to need a nice tee shot. This hole bends in the opposite direction to 10, slight dogleg to the right. So the canyon is on the left side, and he gives that green so well protected by that little crop of rock that's in front of it and to the side. So a good tee shot there, really, to get a look at that flag. Otherwise, you're going to have to play a blind second shot over the corner of the rock. Very narrow fairway, though.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Common thread here, rough, rough, rough.
Wrong way again. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Masterson for his par. That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Now to the par 3. You miss it to the right, you're not going to be pitching off of a soft piece of grass.
No, you're not. Fortunately, though, this is the shortest of the 4 par 3s here at the golf course. You left long, in trouble. Fortunately, that bunker might save a few shots from going to what would be an even bigger problem. But at that yardage, there is a chance to make 2. It's not a big target, but anything on the putting surface really is going to give you a birdie opportunity. Well, it's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And rolls it in. Nice putt. Now the 13th hole, and all kinds.
It's a little oasis up here in the mountains to a green that you would normally say is an island green. Excuse that. There are rocks and all sorts of things around, but that second shot, just to have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2 is one thing, but look at the danger that's around it. Waterfalls, water. It's a very, very severe price if you don't find this green with your approach shot.
This is one of the greatest par 5s in the world, isn't it?
Oh, without doubt, you'll never see another hole that looks like this one.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
He'll need to catch this solid, 190 yards away. Playing in the winds can really be demoralizing. You might hit a shot perfectly and airmail it by 20 yards.
Yeah, well, just because the first part of the round hasn't gone your way, you should still have a feel of the conditions by now.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Par bid here. Been a rocky round. Frank, what's cool about this hole is on that third shot, presumably, I don't think anybody can get home in two at about 900 yards, but on that third shot, there's just no two ways around it. You have to fly it over the canyon.
Rich, I'm scared of heights. I can't afford to look to the right there. That is a massive drop-off down the side there. And when you're looking at that third shot going across there, that is, well, you take a deep breath, hopefully just look at the flag. And then even when you hit it on the green, you've got to walk across that. But that is an enormous drop down to the Colorado River.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
All right, now another shot from the rough.
Yeah, this time better be better than the one we just saw.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have.
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Didn't cover the flagstick on that one, but on the green, safely, with about 30 feet to go. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Time to regroup. That's a double bogey. Now to the par 4 15th. Sharp dogleg to the right.
Yeah, sort of wrap around hole. Ideally, aim left. This time we're heading away from the canyon. So it should be a little easier to breathe. But still, another good drive is needed here. Thread it down through there to at least have a look at that green for the second shot. Well protected, this green at a 45-degree angle to the right. Relatively flat hole, but it does serpent its way all the way down till you get to the green.
Frank,
really right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Pops Masterson for par. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. So just a formality here. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 14th hole seems to have really taken him out of his game and shaken his confidence. Now to the par 4 16th hole, and Frank, again the canyon comes into play. The wildlife is out here. We have the hot air balloons with the gallery gathering in just the most unusual setting I have ever seen.
This is an absolute bizarre hole, really. It just turns around. It's in the shape of a U. And the best view of that green, really, is to drive it all the way down the corner and down the right side. The right side, of course, is the closest to the canyon. There's a lot of wildlife up the top here. Not only that, but this hole also plays uphill. So this is probably the hardest tee shot on the golf course.
It's almost like a question mark, and you have to be asking yourself,
the question.
What in the world am I doing out here? How do we play this? Just enjoy it. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Down, little Sheba, down! That one is really long, Frank. He miscalculated there.
Well, there has to be something. I mean, from where he was, it's just an aberration. Seriously, that little green patch down the end there with a flag in it.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists so often say, put the mistake behind you, live in the moment. Easier said than done.
It is, male, female. It doesn't, it certainly affects everybody that plays this game. And somehow you've got to, play, you've heard the old cliche, one shot at a time. But this is why it's so important. Because if anything from the past creeps in, it really does affect on what you do after that. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit.
Masterson has this one for par. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. And now to the finishing hole.
A monster par 3.
Hello, where are we, Frank? Where's the green?
It is down there, that's for sure. Bunkers short and behind. They'll really help you if you misjudge your club selection. Apart from that, there is a green down there. Anything other than that will be a trouble.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
This is a 22-foot putt. Aw, do that! It was entertaining, that's for sure. I mean, between the views, the spectacular holes, and some of the great golf we saw, Frank, I really enjoyed it. It was special, that's for sure. For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from the heart of the Grand Canyon. So we've